While we often view physical intimacy through the lens of modern romance, the mechanics of non-reproductive sex are a deeply rooted biological adaptation. For millions of years, these behaviors have functioned as a calculated survival strategy rather than a mere byproduct of pleasure. We see this most clearly in bonobos, our closest living primate relatives. In their matriarchal societies, physical intimacy is a primary currency for social navigation. Instead of using violence to resolve disputes over food or territory, bonobos utilize sexual contact to diffuse aggression. Driven by the social glue theory, the primate brain releases oxytocin and endorphins during intimacy, suppressing cortisol and turning off stress. This biological framework of pleasure builds vital alliances, keeping the troop cohesive enough to survive harsh environments. Nature designed these intimate rewards to maintain peace in intelligent, social groups, creating a biological foundation for cooperation long before human laws were written. Ancestral cave paintings suggest these bonding behaviors did not disappear as humans evolved. Our ancestors continued utilizing the primate biological toolkit to navigate social life. Depictions of private connection exist alongside the hunt, showing physical bonding remained a constant thread. Evolution provided the hardware for this connection, but as human populations expanded and formed the first great civilizations, they began to layer their own rules, mythologies, and rigid social boundaries over these primal instincts. Humanity took a straightforward tool for social cohesion and codified it, transforming intimate acts into indicators of power, spiritual purity, and civic standing. In ancient Egypt, sexual acts were integrated into the core of religious art and mythology. These interactions were viewed as essential forces for maintaining Ma'at, the cosmic order of the universe. The myth of Isis and Osiris illustrates this divine connection. After Osiris was murdered and dismembered, Isis reassembled his body, fashioning a missing part out of clay. She is depicted resurrecting her husband by breathing life back into him via fellatio, framing the act as a source of eternal life. While Egypt looked to the gods, ancient India approached intimacy as a formal science. The Kama Sutra was authored as a comprehensive clinical manual for the art of living, treating sexual fulfillment as an academic pursuit. One chapter is dedicated entirely to alparishtika, or mouth congress. It breaks the interaction down into 8 specific codified techniques, analyzing the mechanics of pleasure with the same precision one might apply to architecture or medicine. Both cultures elevated our biological wiring to the highest levels of their society, viewing these ancient primate behaviors as either sacred magic or refined science. Ancient Roman life was structured around rigid civic hierarchies and the constant display of military dominance. In this society, sexual behavior was used primarily to signal a citizen's place in the social order. The Roman paradigm was defined by a binary of active and passive roles. Sexually penetrating another person was a display of virtus, or masculine power. Conversely, being the recipient of any sexual act was viewed as a submissive, degrading position reserved for the conquered or the enslaved. This created the severe social stigma of os impurum, or the impure mouth. Romans believed that using the mouth for sexual submission corrupted a citizen's ability to participate in public life, effectively staining the organ they used for noble speech and legal testimony. However, the archaeological remains at Pompeii tell a different story. Private frescoes found in bathhouses and elite homes show that Romans frequently engaged in the very acts their public laws condemned, showing a stark divide between civic rules and private behavior. Rome successfully took a natural instinct for building trust and inverted it, using intimacy as a mechanism for enforcing social dominance and creating deep societal shame. Depending on the century, a single biological action could be a source of divine resurrection, a subject of clinical study, or a reason for legal exile. History shows us that while the act remains the same, the meaning we assign to it is constantly shifting. Despite all the changing laws and taboos, our underlying biology has not moved. The need for the social glue, the chemical bond that reduces tension and fosters cooperation, is still a fundamental part of the human experience. Human culture created the complicated rulebook, but we are still guided by the ancient need to connect.